kiddos, today is Friday. So today I'm just going to talk to you about where you should be in writing and what your writing should look like today and what your writing should have looked like all week. So today is Friday, so you're going to have a catch-up day. So you're going to take a step back and look at where you are in your writing process and make sure you're at the point where you should be. So remember, you're writing a historical fiction story. So if we're thinking about the words historical fiction, historical means it took place in history, which means your story should not take place in 2020. Your story should not take place in 2020. It should not be about the coronavirus. It should not be about what's happening right now. It's a fiction story that is taking place in history. So most of you are writing about the civil rights movement. So most of your stories are about the time period of the civil rights movement. There are a couple of you writing about a different time period. Either way, not 2020. So let's take a look at what you should have done this week for writing. So right here where I highlighted it. So on Monday, you should have done your 5 W's chart. So that should have helped you plan your historical fiction story. The who, what, where, when, why, and how. On Tuesday, you should have went into your writing topic and written a flash draft of your historical fiction story. So I know you've all done flash drafts in school. So remember, a flash draft is just when you get all of your thoughts in your head onto a paper. So you should have just wrote all your thoughts onto the paper. It didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to be amazing. It's just your first flash draft just to get you started and to get all your thoughts out. On Wednesday, you should have looked back at your introduction. So the most important parts of the introduction is that you tell your reader when and where your story is happening. So when, maybe what time period, what historical events are happening around that time period, and where, maybe your city, your state, your country. So where and when your story is happening should be introduced in the introduction. Now you don't have to write, my story takes place in 1963, Alabama. It doesn't have to be that direct. You can kind of set the stage. So show and instead of tell. And then on Thursday, you should have filled out that wants and needs charts using a story. You could have used The Babe and I. You could have used your own story. You could have used your reading independent book. It doesn't really matter what story you read, as long as you filled out that charts for wants and needs. So if you haven't done any of those things in this checklist right here, today is your day to go back and do it. Because remember, every time we do something, the next day builds on top of it. So if you skip Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then try to do work on Thursday, you're gonna be confused. So make sure you're doing just at least a little bit every day so you can keep building on top of what you're writing. So today's the day to look back and see what you have not done, and to complete it if you have. If you have completed all of these things, then you can choose one of these fun writing prompts to write about. So there's a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 writing prompts. And you can just write your response right here on the Google Doc, right underneath. If you'd like to write about something different, maybe you write about a story that's happening to you, write about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, kind of like a journal entry, that's fine too. If you've done all of these things, it can kind of be a free write. That's totally optional for you. So as long as you've done these 4 things from this week, you're good to go on writing, and I'm super proud. So good luck. Happy writing. See you soon.